Good evening, Macroverse. What's going on? Well, in my case, good evening. Maybe your case, GM. Good afternoon. Whatever. What's up? Welcome back. It's that time again. It seems like it's been so long again already. I already know what's coming, but I don't know. I think I'm stumped for words today. It's been a long day, and I've had a lot going on. I wish I could talk about it on camera, but it's kind of some nonsense. And I just want to say I'm glad to be here. So, Evan, my friend,
hello.
How are we doing?
I'm good. I don't want to. It's not my story to tell, but the story you just told me is fascinating. So,
well, I'll
it's
talk about it.
From the...
I don't want to talk about it. It's because it's gross.
Yeah.
But no, I worked all day, long day, busy day as always. Grind. Did some school stuff for the kids, and at the ex's house, apparently we had a situation with a venomous toad. So I had to go dispose of it. And I will say, like, I don't know, I'm not cut out for that, I guess, is the easiest way to say it. I'm not a hunter. I'm a very, like, I don't know. It's just not what I'm used to. But when I'm told there's a big frog, I expect one thing, and then this is like what I see.
Wild.
So I feel just like traumatized, and I'm still like, that was only about an hour ago, so I'm still just kind of like shaking it.
Yeah, shaking it off. Hey, well, I'm sorry you had to go through that. I feel like you could go see like the new Aliens movie and commiserate with the characters or something. But.
So it's funny because I guess it's called a cane toad, and I guess they're everywhere, especially here and especially with all the rain and everything. But it's like killing people's animals and stuff because, like, dogs try to eat them, and I guess they're just poisonous to the touch. So, no, it's I had to go get rid of it, but man, I made Eben Google it before we got on. And it's like, it's just it's so terrifying to me. I mean, I know like there's people out there. The crazy thing is, like, there's probably people out there like, oh, it's just a frog, like.
Well, that's what I wondered until you made
where I'm from, like those things, man, those don't exist.
Yeah. I mean, anyone that's curious, if you Google cane toad and then imagine it being like, I don't know, the size bigger than the size of your head is what it sounds like. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, it's terrifying. I'm gonna have nightmares.
I'm glad you're with us. I hope the pizza
that'll be one of the next. So I guess one of the next books I write will be like the horror like venom toad.
Well, this is one of the reasons we create things, to work through our trauma.
Oh man.
Yes, well, we're gonna do based on your suggestion from I believe it was last week. It has been a little while since we've done this, and it's been actually a little while since I've done this on or off camera. So I always have a little bit of stage fright, but good to just throw myself right into it. So gonna do a little live drawing tonight while we're chatting. So happy to kind of go anywhere in the conversation while we're doing it. But I've got a blank canvas pulled up here on Clip Studio. I'm going to rearrange screens here a little bit. Get this configuration. So I've got Clip Studio pulled up with a blank canvas, and actually, just going to have some fun with this. I don't have a specific agenda for it. I don't even know what I'm going to draw, so we'll just find out what that is. But I'm here on my Cintiq, and I've got my pen, and I'm going to go over to that section momentarily. And if anyone wants to dive into the chat and make any suggestions, or if you want to even join the stream live tonight, I will post that invite in the Discord, actually. So discord.gg/Macroverse. If you want to join us live, here is the link. Boom. So again, discord.gg/Macroverse if you want to join live. Forgive me for not looking at the camera because I'm looking at my screen and my camera's over here now. But happy to talk about anything as we're doing this. To start me off, Tiny, do you have any suggestions or requests that you think would be cool to play with?
What I can say is when you told me that you were going to be drawing, I was super excited, and I honestly thought that you would probably have something you were already working on that you were going to be doing.
No,
which is even more amazing that you're going from scratch. I would say so. I mean, like the big thing is like the things I've already seen. I mean, you've done what? You've done some Vogu. You've done some GSA. You've done a couple others.
This is my if I was doing this for my daughter, she would insist that it get an uwu mouth. So there you go.
What is that? I feel like it's.
I have no idea. This is what I do sometimes. Just
the head shape gives me like a Ninja Turtle vibe for some reason.
Yeah, this is just little kind of sketch that I would do for the kids sometime. Give them a mohawk, give them a kind of shirt. Clearly, a
let's
GSA
see.
Shirt.
So I don't know if you want it to be like. I mean, me personally, I don't know. I would love to see like some sort of like comic character, more like Marvel style. Like
I'm thinking about, I mean, I could certainly do like a thing of fan art, but also, I'm thinking like if I'm happy with the results of this, and that's not a promise, but if I am, I could imagine, giving it to somebody on Drip or something like that. So I don't want to necessarily make a
do something. Yeah,
that's copyright infringement. Although I did very much enjoy, Deadpool.
Oh man, I'm embarrassed to say this. I still haven't been able to go see it yet. And I also saw. I saw, what was it? It was like where Rob Liefeld was doing like, I don't know if it like what the magazine was, like a People's Magazine or something, but it had whatever his name is on the cover, and he was doing like half of his face as Deadpool.
Yeah,
it was so cool. I was like, man, like
there. I just got Wolverine into it also.
So my life outside of Macroverse and work, I just I'm like so deep right now into physicals and just obsessed, and I feel like Deadpool and Wolverine is just taking over. Oh man, it's crazy. But no, I don't know. Let's see, something to give away on Drip. Like I said, I mean, I feel like I always take it back to the Web3 stuff because that's what I'm used to. We always had the ones for you to go and look at. I bet there's some that you could probably go get still from there.
There probably is.
Valor's here. I bet she probably has some kind of suggestion.
I just see here we go. But Lady Valor, throw something out for me.
Let's see.
Otherwise, I can also show you what I do when I'm, kind of in my own free time. Is I really do just kind of start and figure something out as I go. And this will just be a character from something.
Yeah.
Give me a genre.
Man, anime.
Okay. I can do my version of anime without looking without
I'm
looking
like,
at
I'm
it.
thinking, what am I throwing out? Oh, she doesn't know you're drawing live, maybe yet. She just jumped in. So, um, welcome Valor, welcome everybody that's just showing up if you're coming in late. Um, I think she's lucky she missed my Toad story, but um, it's a live drawing night, exactly what I wanted. So we're looking for some topics. I'm lame. I can't think on the spot tonight because I've been traumatized.
Toad, the great Toad fighter is here. It's true.
So maybe it's like, I don't know, draw a big ugly venomous toad.
I need some reference for that, but we could give this guy a toad type kind of creature that like sits on his shoulder and
Oh yeah, it did say anime.
yeah, and has a tongue sticking out. All right, I'm gonna work with this. We'll see where it goes. So this starts very rough like this, and then my thing is I just kind of keep adding layers and refining, and then I'm not going to be too precious about this because we're just having fun. So I'll kind of get into basically just inking pretty quickly, but maybe we'll have time to do a couple. What else do you want to know? What else can we talk about? We talked for a second before we jumped on, just celebrating the early success of the launch of the Digital Pools channel on Drip House. So anyone that's not following Digital Pools yet, definitely get in there and do that.
Well, so that's what I was going to talk about, was obviously Drip House, especially since we've already mentioned it now, because I would love to see whatever you do go out as a drip drop. But no, I was just messing around on there. There's Wanderers are doing a lot. So
Wanderers are getting stuff out, yeah. And I little spoiler alert, which I don't think they'll mind me saying, is that they had a great success with sponsor drop that they did on Drip House. So I think about 30,000 people signed up for the game and did the quest related to the Wanderers game, which is really cool. And then
have you messed with that at all?
The game?
Yeah.
I've seen a bunch of it. We haven't actually played it yet, and I can't wait because it looks awesome.
It looks so cool. What is that? What's it? Is it on like it's a? I feel like it's on a Minecraft
game. Well, they did a thing on that was like on a Minecraft server a while ago, but
and then they rebuilt it all the way.
The full game, like the new game, is looking so cool.
Yeah.
And it's the production values, the style of it, like it's all just super dope.
Yeah, no, and then I've seen like some of the kind of like live playing. I don't know. I mean, I definitely haven't. Man, I just have such limited time to sit down and try to even play a video game these days. It's insane, but man, I've seen a few like YouTube videos and stuff of it, and talk about all the NFT projects that talked about making a game, and some of them did it, and like a couple of them were like kind of fun, you know what I mean? Yeah. But like to see them still grinding and like putting this stuff out, man, it's mind blowing, and to see, I don't know, it's just coming to life.
Oh yeah, I mean, from seriously, I mean, I haven't played it, but from everything I've seen and from the conversations that we've had, like this is one of the ones where it's a real game. Like it has Web3 elements. There's some stuff you get from participating in the Wanderers ecosystem and some bonuses and things for being a holder, like some nice perks and benefits for people that have been with the project for a while. But it's a real game, like no question. So very much kudos to Nick and the whole team there for just continuing, as you say, to grind and to do a bunch of awesome stuff.
Yeah, no, I mean, especially in this market, I mean, anybody Web3, there's another like Web3 project that I follow that just made a big announcement, maybe about a week or two ago, that they weren't stepping away from Web3, but they were going to be more Web2 based, and you know, doing some more kind of like illustrated, like graphic novels and stuff like that, and just more, again, more content based and stuff that can actually be released out, that's more than a token, or something that's happening with most of the projects right now.
I mean, we talked about it a little bit over the past couple of weeks. I think people are, more and more projects, and I think more and more people in general are realizing it's like this technology is incredible, but the Web3 is going to take over Web2. I think is not going to happen. Web3 is going to become part of the technology and part of the array of experiences. Absolutely, 100% already happening. All kinds of places. But I think we got it backwards in the original hype cycle. And I don't mean, yes, we Macroverse included in some ways, but in the us Web3 enthusiasts, like we did get very excited about and continue to be excited about, kind of the opportunity to, rethink, recreate, reinvent some things that, we would, think maybe didn't go the way that they could have or should have. But at the same time now, the way forward is, I think you don't try to make Web3 go mainstream. You integrate Web3 into things that already are mainstream. And then, people go like, oh, you can do that? I'm in.
Either that, or you just trick them into using it where they don't even know that they are.
Well, I think that's part of it. Is that's kind of part of what I mean. Actually, is I think it's it's getting people engaged in something that they want to do, and it just happens to have this cool technology involved in it.
Yeah. So, but no, going back to Drip, I think, like you said, digital pools. Like you mentioned, I was super excited to see where they're at. I think, like I told you last time I checked, about the time, maybe the day after I subscribed, they were at about like 2,000 or so, and they've more than doubled. So, again, that's amazing to see, and I can't wait for that content to start coming out.
Yeah, they have a lot of stuff planned too, so I'm quite excited for people to see that. Like, one thing about Matt and Alex, who are the creators behind Digital Pools, is they take the assignment seriously. So they are working on a bunch of really cool stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm looking through it just to see what I've missed, but no, I'm waiting for them to start putting this stuff out, and I know that there was a Dead Town release.
There was a new episode of Dead Town, this past Sunday,
and
there'll be some more another new drop on this coming Sunday.
I know that. Speaking of Dim Sum, what's up? Trust me, I'm gonna dig for the alpha. He came into the Discord and dropped a whole bunch of them and was showing them off, and that's what alerted me to go secure mine in. So thank you for that. Man, look at those eyes. No, other than that, I don't think, man, I've not been like too crazy active trying to like find anything new on there. There's been a couple things I found that were like music based that were pretty cool, but just little random things. I don't know. I know that I already know the answer. I already know the answer is not yet. Can't talk about it, but they're begging for alpha, and I know that we talked a little bit. What can you tell us?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I can say is kind of reinforcing what we talked about, I think last week or over the past couple of weeks. There's just lots going on, lots of activity going on behind the scenes, some of the stuff that I want to announce, I can't announce because we're not ready to, and a couple of things I can't announce because we have other people involved in those announcements. So there will be definitely news to share, but it's honestly going to be like the full picture is going to be early October when people really start to see it, and we can really talk about all the details and specifics. So definitely just, keep I don't know, keep an ear out. Keep an ear out.
It's funny because it's like well, we were talking and you said, it's like a month. And I mean, for me, that's, man, time is just flying. So again, it's hard to say Web3 time because things have changed a little bit, but time is still flying. Things are going fast. I feel like a month out to get, a good bit of alpha drop is going to be happening quick. And man, I don't know. That's going to be the game changer. That's like when I don't know. I can't wait.
Yeah, I also can't wait.
So, no, I don't know, man. I think I watched the episode that I was sleeping for, and it was good to see Matt on and see you guys catch up, and I was super jealous that I missed that. That's another thing that would be great to have him on drawn, but
totally.
No, this is, I think, going to come out pretty awesome. I can already tell. I don't know why I said anime. I don't think I've ever seen you draw anything in like an anime style.
It's not my go-to. So, like I'm sure that someone who is a true anime artist will look at this and go like, that is not right.
What in the world? That is.
But I can, try to capture a little of the spirit of it at least. Hopefully, without.
I think like when I was attempting to really like start digging into drawing, I did like maybe 2 or 3 anime style characters. One of them was really super cool. It was my first one, and I was like, wow, that's awesome. And then it just got harder. But no, I think that's one of the things it's like, I think one of my favorite styles, but I just never got into actually watching or, reading the mangas and stuff like that. I mean,
there's so much good stuff. It's there. There were a handful of like seminal mangas for me that, kind of when they really started to bring stuff over, when it started to like really hit like Western comic stores, like there's a handful of things that like really rocked my world. And probably number one among those was Appleseed for me. And largely because I was such an Art Adams fan that him doing like a whole series of covers just got me hooked. And then there was also like, I don't know if you remember Adam Warren, but he was a American comic artist, but did a book called Dirty Pair, which was very almost indistinguishable, at least to my eye, from something that was actually coming from Japan. Of course, Joe Madureira doing Battle Chasers, kind of very manga influenced. But there's so much good stuff. And then actually, like one of the best shows that I've seen of the past, I don't know, years is Attack on Titan.
Well, and what's the recent one on Netflix? The blue-eyed.
Right, hold on. What's that?
I need a password. What's the new one? I know you've watched it. I haven't started it yet. It's literally like the next one on my list.
Is it Blue-Eyed Samurai?
Yes, Blue-Eyed Samurai.
Yeah. So totally awesome.
I've heard like phenomenal things about that from everybody.
It's absolutely spectacular.
So I think that's probably next on my list. I've still been stuck. I'm like up to my eyeballs deep into like Supernatural. Like I'm so stuck in it. I can't stop watching it.
There are worse things.
I know it's man. I can't believe. The funny thing is, I can't believe how much of these like kind of older shows that I missed. That I think we talked about this, that they're like bringing back and putting them on all these streaming apps, and man, I missed out.
Yeah, I mean, it's become one of the biggest drivers for like Netflix, and pretty constantly there's something that was a major hit, in the as far back as the 80s in some cases, and just has found a new audience, which I think is pretty amazing. I actually have gotten rehooked on Friday Night Lights, which is my own nostalgic rewatch, which also is, it's like you can see it some of the places where it's a bit dated and stuff, but still great.
Yeah, that's funny. I think I used to have that on DVD.
Yeah,
at some point in my life. So I don't know. I can't hate. That's a good one.
yeah.
No. What else do we have? I know that we had the Maker's Room last night, and that focused mostly on that was Matt's story, right?
Finally, Matt's Vogue story, which has been long overdue for some feedback. So
Yep. So, and I think, as always, I mean, I'm always very impressed with everything he puts out, and it's funny. I was talking to him the other day, talking about rewrites and stuff, and I just feel like he's one of those guys that's like so hard on himself and critiques himself way too hard because he's such a good writer.
Yeah,
and so props to him. I'm excited to see where that one turns out, and I'm really excited for mine.
as you should be. That's the right answer.
But I kind of missed a little bit of the stream. Like I said, I missed the notification somehow. It didn't come to my phone, but I was really hoping that that we were going to get into that, and that's where I was like, so good thing that I didn't come in late to that one. I still got time. I still get to see it, hear it, I guess.
Indeed.
But no, I don't know what's new with you, man. Because I am in a world of, I mean, I can tell you about physicals and what's been new in my world of comics.
Yeah.
But
I'm curious what you've been collecting recently.
So
also curious if you're excited about anything that's new that's coming out.
Honestly, I wish I was, but I just look at Bronze and Silver Age books, and it's just a totally different vibe, totally different feel. I just don't get the same feeling from the newer books and more modern stuff that I do when I look at an old book. and for me, when I say an old book, these are books that are, higher grade, older books, and they're still like some of these things look like reprints, they're just so crisp and bright. And it's like, to me, I don't know, it's the most beautiful thing. It's like a piece of art.
Totally.
So I wish I could get that excited about the more modern stuff, and I hope that it's coming. But at the moment, I mean, there's nothing like the old colors and that whole style. I mean, it's just gone.
Yeah, that's interesting. I've heard the only thing I've really been hearing people talk about is like the kind of hopeful return to form for like the new X-Men books.
Yeah.
And then absolute, or it's not absolute, it's all in Batman or absolute Batman, or I forgot what they're calling it. But
Batman, listen, this is one of those things. I was just never into DC. I bought Batman, very little bit of Superman, but Batman, I've been selling comics for a while. I buy and sell, and I'm mostly more for just to enhance my personal collection. It's not like I'm out here trying to make $1 million on comic books. buying and reselling, but it definitely helps to upgrade some books and stuff. But I will tell you, Batman is very popular, way more than I thought. Like it
Oh yeah.
sells so fast. The fans are like die hard. And getting into some of these stories, man, like they're so psychologically twisted, and it's another, like I said, I missed out earlier. Like I never paid attention. Batman is it's pretty dark. I mean,
Oh yeah. Well, tell me you've read The Dark Knight and such.
yes, yeah. I played the video game too. I never like, I just never wanted to give it a chance. I guess like I don't know. I don't feel like he's a real superhero. He doesn't really have powers.
Well, here, funny enough, and this is not my original thought here, but I think actually, like the reason Batman is so popular, a reason Batman is so popular, and by far and away the most popular DC character, is that he is actually a Marvel character that that happens to be published by DC in a lot of ways. If you think about like Superman, Wonder Woman, most of the rest of the Justice League, these are all essentially gods.
Yeah.
They're superheroes first, and then Clark Kent is still Superman. He's just Superman in disguise. And the big kind of twist when Marvel came. Marvel came years after DC. When the big shift that just set the world on fire was these are humans first who happen to have superpowers and have real problems and have real lives that they have to deal with and juggle. So flipping that script is a big part of why Spider-Man and other Marvel characters became so popular, and Batman is the closest thing that DC has to that in the core kind of DC characters.
Totally. I definitely never would have thought of that. And even like, I think one of my, a friend of mine from work is the one that really started showing me like a lot of the like Joker stuff that's just super twisted. And I think that's what like kind of got me to be like, holy crap, these are actually pretty decent. But no, I will say like, speaking of stuff that's popular and Batman and I'm hearing things about the Hush series. I think there's some stuff coming back with that, but no, I have been still building my Hulk books. I'm always, I think I got maybe 4 of those the other day. I've been buying a lot of like X-Men and it's like random like foil covers and stuff. Like my buddy calls them foo-foo covers, but with me and my ADHD, anything sparkly and like foil, I'm just like, wow, look at that. That's amazing. It could be like the worst book, but I have to have it. So
sparkly is the key. I'll keep that in mind.
Oh yeah, no. So I'm very weak for that, but no, the big one that that I just got that I'm excited about is actually Image Comics, and I posted in the Discord, but it's called Burnouts, and it's like aliens and potheads. And I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's got to be good. I hadn't tore it open yet, but
aliens and potheads, it's got to be good.
So, no, that I think as far as like what I've been working on, as far as like selling books, definitely more of that older Spider-Man. What do we got going? X-Men. There's a ton of X-Men stuff right now. Just X-Men and Wolverine's so popular, but no, I think for me, like I've been focusing on probably my Hulk collection in the 100 to 200 range, and finding them, inexpensive and just beautiful. And I mean, I don't care if there's a couple bins or something like that, but clean pages, bright colors. Um, it just is. It's just like I said. It's just, to me, that's the heart of comics for me. And I've been on a big tangent lately about anti-slabs and anti-CGC, which I probably shouldn't say live on here, but no, I feel like it's like I'm hating seeing all these books getting locked away, and no one can touch them and open them and look at them, and I don't know. They're having some issues and stuff, and that's kind of another thing I've been doing, is just trying to tell people to read more comics.
Yes. Well, we definitely, as an industry, we definitely need more people to comics.
So that is oddly enough, that's been like, I think, like when I spend my comic time, that's been what a lot of it is obviously spreading the Macroverse name, and lately just telling people, just in general, just read more books. Like, stop slabbing so many, stop worrying so much about, is it truly a 9.8 and is it a speculation price? And it takes me back to like Web3 almost. Like, everything's based on speculation and like slab price, and it's not about the art in the book. And it's kind of sad to see.
Yeah.
So that's my I guess my mopey spiel there. But yeah, no, I actually my buddy at the shop like tore his, he had this little section down with like the few little slabs that he has, and he's like, I'm taking it down.
The owner of the shop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
you got him on the side of less slabs, more reads.
Yeah, I mean, he's already there anyway, but I guess I'm persuasive. Shut it down. No, he's the one that bought the ASM1 and broke the slab as soon as he got it.
That's crazy.
That's what I said. I was like, wow. But he had it cleaned and pressed, and I think it went from like probably like I don't remember what it was. I want to say probably like a mid 4 or something. Probably took it up to like a mid 6 something.
All right. Well, that's a different story. If you're upgrading it by
he'll not re-slab it though. He won't.
Interesting.
He might sell it to someone who eventually could re-slab it, but God, I'd hate to see that thing get slabbed again. I feel like that's like, I used to joke and I used to say like I wanted to start a YouTube channel. Clearly I don't have the money for this, but where I just like go live and just start cracking slabs on camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I feel like someone would probably like.
That's a good like Mr. Beast kind of a Beast comics is cracking slabs live on camera. Okay, what are we naming this guy? Give me a name for him.
Oh man, man, you got me. I can't. I don't
know. All right.
For some reason, I want to say Mushu, like Mushu pork.
Mushu. Mushu. What Mushu Toadmaster? There we go.
Look at the eyes on the little. It looks like a monkey frog.
It is kind of that.
So, like I said, I've been watching Supernatural. When I was like, look at those eyes. It reminds me of like I think you've seen it, but like they have like the black demon eyes, and that's like what that reminds me of, is when they like show that someone's a demon.
There we go. All right, Mushu Toadmaster, it is saved. All right, so we'll do a little more with Mushu. I like it.
I like what is that? A vest? What is that?
Some kind of slightly Liefeld-esque pouches and things.
I like it.
Can't go wrong. All right. We'll get some dot action going on here as well.
Oh, that's like my favorite part, I think.
Yeah. Go a little later as well.
So, let's see. We got Drip House, Maker's Room. We're live. What else do we have going? Comic-Con's done. I missed it here. DMC was here. Pictures. He was with like some of the locals that I wanted to go talk to again. Man, I was so mad about that, but I just couldn't get out there.
Yeah, that's all right.
But it looked like I had a good time, man. I saw, like I said, and even that's what made me even more upset is to see the DMC was out in the crowd. Like he wasn't just hanging at the booth. He was out, with the people, and I was like, man, I missed out. So,
that is what he does. What else is going on? What else can we talk about? We got one of our team members in the UK right now. Not just for us, but doing some interesting meetings happening today and yesterday, which we'll be able to talk more about later as well.
So we're going worldwide.
Going worldwide in a couple of ways, yes.
Man, so
go ahead.
No, sorry, I was reading a message when I started speaking. No, I was surprised that Valor didn't have anything to throw in on this.
Well,
are you going to color it?
I'm probably not going to go full color just because of the time. But what I will do is I will now commit to if anybody would like to throw their hat in the ring to get this as a special ultimate on Drip House, I will kind of raffle it off but just to anyone that's ever contributed a droplet. So it could be one lucky collector, I hope.
I just keep looking at the little. I'm like I'm like traumatized. I keep looking at the little frog, and I'm like, ugh. I am not cut out for that, man. Which is funny because like I thought it was pretty tough.
Well, those are not mutually exclusive.
It took a big frog. That's a big frog, man. I don't know. There's no way. I don't know, man. I was talking to someone else, and I was like, my family, extended families, like a lot of hunters and stuff. I see that. I thought about shooting it, but I live in that neighborhood is not cut out for that. That was my first thought. But no, hopefully, man, I don't want to do that again. And those things are like apparently like super abundant here. I can't believe I hadn't heard of it before now.
Now you're like, no.
Well, yeah. So I don't know. I ended up moving the whole thing that it was behind, and I was just like waiting for there to be more of them. Mm-hmm. And thank God there wasn't. But she had said she saw a baby one, so I was like, I don't know, man. I'm telling you, I'm gonna have nightmares. I'm like, I can't even think straight.
I think I'm gonna have nightmares. Yeah.
And then I got these little crazy eyes staring at me.
I mean, that was your suggestion, but I
nailed it though. You did nail it. I will say.
It's fun.
And it's definitely very Ebonverse style. Takes me to what you were doing right before we the last live drawings. Microverse. No, macro. What was it called? I'm going
Macronauts?
blank. Macronauts.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me of.
That will rise. There will be Macronauts.
I'm waiting because I need to go back to that too. I still had like a couple stories there.
Yep. They'll be a little different than originally conceived, just based on.
I feel like it's gonna have to be a good bit different. That was still a pretty solid Web3 dream on one, yeah.
It was. I think the way I'm thinking about it now, it's gonna have actually more of a role inside of everything else that we're building. But I think it will be very fun.
I'm just trying to figure out how to make you say more with that. I was like, what else can we do there? No, I'm excited to see how all this stuff works together. I think the thing that I was excited about that was getting so much community and engagement and involvement into it. And I remember originally when we started talking about everything working together and just, I don't know, kind of like the overall goal of things. And at one point, it was to be able to incorporate like Discord engagement. Is that something that's still like might possibly?
Discord specifically is a little trickier, but the concept very much alive.
Yeah. I figured. I mean, the concept in itself is, I think, like kind of what, to me, is like the heartbeat of Macroverse, just having everybody that wants to be a part of it able to be a part of it and be active and engage and create. And I mean, you can really get in as deep involved as you want. And it all just depends on how much you put into it. But
absolutely.
No, I was just curious because I was still thinking, you talk about interoperability, and I'm trying to figure out how much you guys have solved.
How much have we solved? We have solved some. And definitely more.
Some and more.
More than we had, not all of it just yet. And it's actually less I'd say that the tech piece of it has largely been solved. The time to implement it and the way to do something with it is a little more to be.
Well, when you're changing the world, when's the right time?
Exactly.
No, I seriously, people aren't ready for it though. It's like popular music that like people hated, and then it comes, gets popular years later, and it's like it's just before its time. I feel like, not that anybody's hated anything you've done, but I feel like it's just not it completely exploded, and I think it's still like the breadcrumbs that have been dropped so far. I feel like it's still before its time. I mean, like, I just don't think people are ready for. I don't know, what I see in my mind is just taking collecting in general to a whole new level. And anybody that's a true collector, I mean, it's just, there's so much passion behind it. And there's just so much love and the things that people collect, and to be able to spread it into so many different areas, like it's exciting. Because I mean, for me, since I was a kid, I mean, I collected stamps, coins, comics. At one point I was trying to collect like art prints and stuff like that. I think I sold most of those off because they don't travel well. But man, I get so passionate about some of this stuff, and I don't think there's anything that I've loved like comics, as far as collecting. Um, but yeah, I can't wait to see like what the stretch is, because I know you've already got, we've already got Cypress Hill concert flyers. Um, there's going to be physical comics. I mean, I don't know. I got so many things in my mind. I'm still excited about the music side of things too.
Yeah, and that's something that has kind of been unexpected and awesome. So there's
Yeah.
definitely some forthcoming news on the comic side, definitely some stuff coming up on the music side, and potentially some crossover between the two.
Yep.
Which
And that, well, I mean, God, I anticipated that since the first DMC.
yeah, well, I mean, DMC for sure, but outside of that as
Yeah,
well.
no, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, to me, I just assumed, that would come, and then obviously, um, if you build it, they will come. I just figured more would follow. I feel like once people see it in action, the floodgates are going to open, and that's going to be. I mean, same thing with Drip House. I mean, um, the amount of like celebrities and already famous people that I've seen jump on there, just even start releasing more of their stuff and giving it out for free is it's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's definitely getting there. I'm excited about some of the new stuff that Drip is doing too. They've kind of half announced a experience point system as well, which is going to be, I think, in the next couple of
Yeah,
days going live,
it's
um, and looking forward to what that turns into as well.
it's going to be really cool to see how they continue to evolve over the next, the long term, the next year or two, to 5. Keep growing, because I mean, yeah, I mean, well, they're going to have to stay relevant. But I mean, it just started out. I hate to say so simple, because by no means is it necessarily a simple idea, but um, it just started out as just you know people giving away stuff and collect. It just was so easy, and they're starting to get like more intricate, super cool details added in. I really like the the auctions.
Mm-hmm.
Those are super super cool. I still have not participated in too many of them, but I watched several of them because I'm
Yeah,
excited. Like
it's actually surprisingly kind of fun to just watch.
no, it does. I get excited, and I think I get excited for the creators. Especially
Yeah.
when they start going for actually a decent bit of money. But no, I've had a lot of fun with that. But um, I'm excited to see how they grow. Is there any update, since you kind of have a little bit of an inside foot there, on the app release for them?
App release, I don't know specific timing. I wish I did, because I'm actually pretty excited to have it. But I know it's being worked on, constantly. Uh,
Yeah,
and the progress, it is already out, I believe, in beta. I know it's out in beta for people to try, on the if you have a Solana phone, so the
yeah.
phone. But
Yeah, those are there. There's probably not very many.
yeah, I mean, I think they definitely sold out. I think there was an initial run of, I want to say maybe 2,000, something like that. So not a
Yeah.
huge number. But I know that is out there on live. And then yeah, I think the rest of the beta is, I know they have an iOS version working now, which I'm happy about. And then I don't know exactly what the timing for, kind of the wider
Yeah.
release
No, I'm
is,
just
but
that's one of the few things that, I'm still kind of waiting on. I hadn't seen anything about a release date, but I know that they're working hard on it, and I still get frustrated going to Drip House from Phantom on my phone. It just
On mobile, yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a there's really no, I don't think there's any good mobile wallet experience like for that kind of stuff.
you know
Yeah.
I think it possibly works better than MetaMask, so I give
Yeah,
it that.
that's not a hard bar
But
to clear.
it's not come a long way from there. In what 3 years? There's not been a whole lot of updates to like the D app side of stuff and
Yeah.
those kind of like wallet internet browsers. So I am very excited for the app.
Definitely.
And I'm assuming too, I mean, the art itself is probably you're gonna look so much better in the app than it does going through the wallet and looking at it like
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if for nothing else, it'll just be a much cleaner, better experience.
yep. So no, I mean that's the one thing that I've been looking forward to with them. Oh, back again. It's not me for once.
Magic, yes.
I usually for me it's like
Stream at the moment.
can I download a new game? And I'm like, no.
That's
Why?
yeah.
Money.
That's the timer for a little more Roblox time going on at the moment.
Oh yeah. Yeah, my son is at the age where he keeps asking me for Robux as rewards and such. But he doesn't even play Roblox. Like he plays Minecraft.
Yeah.
But he's just obsessed with the fact that it's like mobile money, I guess, which is funny.
That is funny.
But he's like, you can buy stuff with it. And I'm like, yeah, but like, I don't know. It's so funny. But yeah, no, man, he is obsessed. And I just can't bring myself to entertain it and
I suspect that chasm will get crossed at some point, but
so yeah, no, it'll come. I think when the little one gets a little bit bigger, then and they're not fighting as much over certain little things, then maybe. But no money for them for the templates, man. But it's funny to see what you were talking about a few years ago with kind of like how you I guess put your spin with Macroverse and looking at your kids and just fully engaged.
yes.
And it's kind of like at the age I'm at now. It's just seeing them like. I mean, for instance, with Minecraft, he's got the book bag, the water bottle, the game, the pajamas,
all this stuff.
Oh man, it's just crazy, and it is. I mean, it's just the love behind it and like the excitement, and I feel like that's what's coming with Macroverse. Like it's funny to see it though. Like that's what I'm living now.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, no, it's cute to see them come in and do it though. That's my life. I don't have them tonight, so I'm quiet. I keep waiting for it, and I'm like, it's quiet.
Yeah, you just have yourself and your nightmares to.
I'm telling you, man. That yeah, I will never forget that. Hopefully, never again. I'm not. I thought when I came to Florida, I had to worry about alligators, not like venomous toads.
Yes, and then they rugged you,
man.
All right, we're getting something going on here.
It's pretty sick. Is that his tongue?
That's his tongue. Yeah, I thought it's only fair that the toad doesn't have to be the one with the tongue out.
Sticking the tongue out. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think another week we have an episode. I'd say we're counting down now to October. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
What do you have planned for the next week?
Good try. What I have planned for the next week?
Oh man.
Getting a lot of stuff ready for October. there is legitimately a ton of prep work to do between now and then. So we've got. I can give you some buckets, which I don't think will really give anything away, but you give a sense of kind of what we're up to. So lots of evaluating all kinds of creative, lots of production, getting stuff ready to launch in a few different ways. In this case, I can say working with a printer on some things. And actually there's the bigger launch, which is Macroverse specific. And then it actually will have 2 launches in October, one coming directly from us and one coming from a partner. So actually I wasn't even thinking about that, but that would be particularly exciting. And lots of like working with the team, reviewing a bunch of different creative in a bunch of different categories, and then just making sure that all of our ducks in a row, all of the strategy is right, all of the people are in the right places for the actual launch. We'll be dealing with some logistics that we haven't had to deal with quite in this way before, but also quite excited about. So yeah, I know that was a full and complete answer that you were looking for. But,
it's better than I can't say anything. At least you gave me a walk around answer.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm excited, especially to hear anything is being printed, because I obviously expect it to be a comic book, but last time it was Cypress Hill posters. So, I mean, that was like the coolest thing ever too. When I found that out, I was like, man, like, I don't know. It was so unexpected.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I feel about the future announcements coming up. Is like, I know what I think, but I'm excited to see what it actually is and who all these meetings are with.
This is a good time for me to not confirm or deny. What do you think?
Well, the biggest thing for me is obviously, I always go back to the tap format and the app, because for me it's groundbreaking for digital comics and digital reading in general, really. Um, and that's not necessarily like novels, but even stuff for kids, and like we used to talk a lot about like choose your own adventures and stuff. The tab format in itself, it to me is just so groundbreaking. um, I anticipate to see a lot more content through bigger names there, obviously, whether that's through Macroverse itself or through them acquiring use of the format somehow. But that's always been something that I thought would happen first, just because, I mean, it's the technology's there, and anybody that sees it is floored. I mean, you can't deny it. Um, Obviously, we've talked a lot about print, so um, print comics. Like I said, with the print relationship, and all the other, like, like, once that you can print anything. So I don't know. Like I said, the first one was Cypress Hill. I didn't see that coming. I thought for sure the first thing printed would be definitely a comic. But again, like my mind it's like 1,000 miles a minute, and that's again like a lot of times I'll get speechless, and it's not because I don't have anything to say. It's because I've got like 10 million thoughts and I can't decide which one to pick.
Mm-hmm.
So, but same thing. As soon as DMC came on, I was like, oh my god, there's going to be so many artists, like musical artists that are going to be like, why is he there? Because I mean, I know he's pretty well known in the comic industry, but a lot of other people don't. And then just alone the contacts there, I just figured it would bring all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. I think my biggest mystery, honestly, which is funny, because I know he's a busy man, and I want to know what Bennett's doing. I feel like that's where the magic is at. So, no, I don't know. I mean, I'm just curious as to like the big names. I feel like there's just like, I feel like once people start to jump on board, like it's going to snowball, and it's not necessarily what is it going to be, because I think it's going to become everything at some point. To me, it's like who's going to be part of the beginning of it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like my big question.
All right, I like your guess.
So, but no, yeah, I'm excited to it's just the times, like I obviously went Web3 heavy, and I got a lot of NFTs, and I still cherish them and value them, and they're still very valuable to me, and I continue to create with them, and I will use them as long as I am able to. I don't look at them as, something to retire off of or something like that. But I am excited to move into the world of physicals. That's where my life has gone, and I'm excited to start bringing physical Macroverse into my home.
Yes, I am excited for that as well. And I think Mushu Toadmaster is done for now.
That's not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Pretty happy with them for
sick.
Having some fun.
Yeah, especially for live in less than an hour.
Yeah. So I'm gonna export this PNG, and
I'll be super jealous to anybody that gets it.
So between now and Sunday, someone who donates as little as one droplet to the Macroverse, specifically the Macroverse Strip House channel, will get this as a 1-of-1.
But why not donate more?
This will be the I'm just gonna make it a totally random. Like, we have other perks at different droplet levels, so by all means get your other perks as well. But it's gonna make this a totally random giveaway with a 1 droplet minimum, just to do something cool, and maybe this will be the beginning of a bunch of these.
I hope so. That's what I said. This is like one of my absolute favorite things. Like especially. God, what was it? The one night there was I think it was 4 or 5 people, all drawing, and I was just like, it's like, who do I watch? And I've just seen some super cool art come out of it.
Yeah, I'm actually quite pleased with this guy. I don't know if you can see the whole thing. There you go.
Yeah, no, super cool.
And once again, anyone that's seen me do my thing over the past couple of years, knows that I'm obsessed with all these dot patterns and textures. And it's a little fuzzy here, but this is what I love about it, is like you see it at kind of like this scale, and it just kind of feels like
curious to see like the high def version,
Yeah, I mean, it just kind of feels like shading there, and then when you really like get in here, like this is the stuff that I love, is it just like uses all these old, what feel like old school print techniques.
Yeah, print paper. It's sick.
get this.
And I've seen more of that being incorporated in more of this, like, kind of like the Spider-Verse stuff, and the new Ninja Turtles animated series did it. But like, you were the first one that I like noticed it on, and you use a different style with layers and stuff. But like, I feel like other people are kind of starting to kind of do it, and it's such a good look.
Get off of my thing, man.
I know, you know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I totally do. Yeah. No, I think, I mean, I'll give credit where credit's due. Like, this is, this was actually inspired by, for me, like, my first attempt at working this way was after seeing the first Spider-Verse movie. And it really was kind of like trying to figure out that style, because I thought it, was so cool in the film.
Yeah.
And then I think what, for me, like, the thing I got obsessed with was there's a lot of people that are playing with, and this is, all these textures are from a texture pack from a company called True Grit Texture Supply. So if you want to, find them for yourself and figure out your own way to use them, like, it's very cool, like, what these different, brush packs are and can do. I'll give it a little off white there. So, I think that where a lot of people use them is they try to replicate that, kind of classic old school comic feeling. And we love that, of course. But for me, what I got really interested in is, the weird kind of way that you could use what to me are these, like, completely classic printing textures in ways that really are only possible digitally. And so you're seeing a little bit less of it when it's, one color like this, but the way that you can use, blending modes and different layer structures and ways of overlapping different types of textures and patterns. There are things that I just love, the vibe where it's like, it feels like kind of normal rendering until you start to look at the details, and then it's almost this kind of abstract, kind of crazy printmaking, to the whole thing. So that's become my obsession, and I think in some ways kind of my style, because it's my obsession.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I would say in everything that I've seen in the last, at least couple years that you've done and released, I would say I can tell for sure, that it's yours. And I would say because of that, it's like you're saying, almost like a signature. I mean, I don't know. I love it. I think, like, it's one of the coolest things I've seen. I went and saw the Ninja Turtles in the movie theater, and I barely ever make it out. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh my God, I've got to see that, because it brings back, like, old school, almost like flipping through a book kind of style.
Yeah, totally.
Man, it just looks so good.
Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. So again, anyone donate at least one droplet to the Macroverse Strip House channel, and you'll be entered in a raffle for this guy as an ultimate. We'll start a new collection there, which we can call, like, live draws or something like that. And then we'll do some more of these, because this was legitimately fun. And when I get busy doing other stuff, I forget how good it feels to just relax and draw something. And I actually like it even better when it's in the middle of talking about stuff.
I was going to say, and I mean, if you're anything like me, I mean, I know you're got to be busy, so a lot of the stuff that I love to do like that, I don't get to necessarily sit down and do it every day, because I have prior engagements. So, I mean, it's like killing two birds with one stone right now. I mean, like,
exactly.
You're knocking out the live, but at the same time, you're creating an amazing piece of art.
Yeah. Sweet. So, well, thank you for giving me that opportunity today, Tiny, and for the encouragement to do it last week.
Thank you for almost giving me alpha. I thought I almost tricked you for a second when I asked you what I had you planned, what you had planned for the week.
It's a little touch. I will say, I don't want to spoil it by saying more about it, but I will say, like, one of the things I'm working on right now is diagramming particular ways that multiple things have to work together. So that is one of the things that I'm excited about, which we'll be able to show in October. Is it's gonna look like it's one thing, and then it's actually gonna be a few things.
Yeah,
it's kind of cool.
So hidden magic again.
Hidden magic once again, exactly.
I love it.
So yeah, cool. So
but look what it can actually do.
Look what it can actually do, and also look at what this has. I mean, you know, we just keep not being able to help ourselves from being like, oh, this doesn't exist. We'll make this.
we'll make it.
Yeah, in a couple of different categories this time. So
you're all overthinkers and show-offs.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. So yeah, there you go. That was fun. I really enjoyed it. The other thing which has been on my mind, which you know, in another kind of slower news week or a restricted news week, is two things. I've been thinking about making a video of some kind for a while, and maybe we just do it as a live conversation, talking about the difference from a storytelling perspective for traditional page turn comics to webtoons, kind of scrolling comics, you know, to our tap story format. And, you know, kind of just talking through like what the things that, at least from my point of view, like what makes each format work and kind of what the strengths are of each format. And then potentially what some of the weaknesses are of each format, and just how, you know, as a creative, how do we think about them? And then also, you know, kind of as a person making comics, whether you're, you know, working with us or not, how you might think about, you know, utilizing those different opportunities for storytelling in different ways. So that's been on my mind for a little while.
I love that, because I mean, I just joked with you about it being you and Macroverse fault for my style. And the fact that, you know, trying to write a true comic or comic script, and I feel like I write panels based on tap, which is different, totally different.
I do naturally now as well. So, you know, when we've been working on a couple of things which are actually, you know, gonna start traditionally and then ultimately make their way into tap story as well, but they're written in a traditional, you know, script format. And I almost have to retrain myself a little bit to, you know, we're leaning into the page turns here, like making sure that these land on the right moments.
It's tough.
So that's one thing. And then the other thing, which has been on my mind for a while, is to actually show how a tap story is made. This is something we've never done before, but I actually have my own little short that I made during the pandemic, which has been sitting there since that time, actually explicitly for this purpose, to show, like, you know, making choices about how each of the panels is drawn, and then how does that actually become something that, you know, works in our format. And then, you know, at the end of that, it could be put out on Driphouse and on our app as well.
Super cool.
So those are two things that we could save for another time. But if that's of interest, I think it would be great to capture and maybe do it live as opposed to pre-recorded, which will also actually get me to do it in the midst of everything else.
And I know a couple other people that would definitely be interested. So
very cool.
I think that's pretty cool. But
awesome.
And definitely, I want to have some more guests on. I hate that I missed Matt. Finally get a guest on, and I fall asleep.
And I got also feel free to surprise me with special guests as well. So, you know, you've got access to everyone that is at least in the Discord. So feel free to arrange, you know, some of that too.
I'm gonna show up with like a super celebrity somehow. Just wait.
There you go. Do it. Do it. No problem. Awesome. Well, I think that's probably a good place to wrap up. Tiny, where do people find you on socials if they want to, or in general?
Oh, Discord. Always Discord. Come to Discord. That's my favorite. Macverse.gg. What is it? Back. I don't know. I don't know the Discords. They're so hard.
Discord.gg
That's it.
/Macroverse.
I'm a little bit dyslexic. At Secret Agent Tiny.
Here's my quiz. Hold on, before you give your Twitter, here's my quiz for you. What does GG stand for?
Good game.
Yes, absolutely. Good job. and on Twitter /X, you are
at Secret Agent Tiny.
At Secret Agent Tiny, indeed.
There might be a Tiny universe. I think it's taken. So I think I had that, and maybe it's lost.
Yes, that's a shame. We'll find them and put them next to a cane toad. This is, well, I should not say this live, so I absolutely do not mean this when I say it. This is my massive disclaimer, but this is where my mind goes. If you really are, needing's the wrong word. This would be a new way to terrorize someone, is to just deliver them packages of cane toads. But
oh my God, I would never want to open that.
Yeah, like why are there some air holes in this package?
I was more scared of that than snake.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can imagine.
And it wasn't even moving.
As we said, Google it. Or don't.
I just felt like I knew if I touched it, I would get sick.
Yeah. Oof. All right. So for me, also on Discord, definitely reachable there at tag me, because I probably won't see it as we're working on other stuff right now. But very happy to connect with people on Discord at just about any time. And then for me, primarily, I am on Twitter at Ebonverse, but also spending a little more time recently on Instagram and Threads, also at Ebonverse. Macroverse is at Macroverse on Twitter, and Macroverse HQ just about everywhere else. So make sure and reach out and connect. If you're watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, hit the bell button so you get notified when we have new videos. I always forget to say that.
It's funny. I hear this like 100 times a day.
Exactly. Like, subscribe, hit the bell. And we'll be back next week with more updates and possibly some more drawing or some other sort of activity, maybe a special guest. I don't know. Keep it rolling. And in the meantime, if you're interested in storytelling and kind of telling stories with the characters that you own or have developed, be very happy to connect around that as well. We're doing that on a weekly basis in the Macroverse Discord as well. A couple of these last round of stories are now at the script stage, including Tiny's, and so that means they're getting ready to head into production and be turned into actual comics, which will then be distributed through our various channels. So all kinds of good stuff going on there. We would love to have you participate if that is something you would like to do.
I do want to say too, because this has been brought up before, just writers in general, even if you're not using the NFT characters, I think it was Matt that asked, what do I do with other stuff I'm writing to get critique?
Yeah, totally.
Drop it. Like, I love people's stuff. I mean,
happy to give feedback too. I mean, I think the thing that I hope is the case, and generally the feedback seems to be so, is that it certainly is true for me that hearing feedback on other people's work is still very valuable for the stuff that I'm working on. So that is the goal as we go through these things, that it be particularly applicable to the person who's pitching something, but that also it's useful for everyone that's working on stuff. So again, doing that on a weekly basis, by all means come and play. And with that, I am going to go feed some kids and get them to bed and all that good stuff, and then get back into a bunch of the mystery projects.
Back to work.
And we'll be back same bat time, as we did talk about Batman. Sorry, Tiny. I hope this isn't too traumatic for you. We'll be back at the same Toad time, same Toad channel.
We did good. We were actually on time today too.
Yeah, that's true. We even started on time, and we ran a little bit late. So there you go.
Look,
extra goodies for the day. All right, everybody, have a good night, and I am ending.